Yo, whoop whoop. This is the police. Is this well, this is the police is the title of the game. Let's have a quick look at the old trailer. Whoop whoop. The sound of the police.
180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me.
I'll do my best.
Well, I hope it's not too text heavy. I've left my glasses in the office. I could go and retrieve them, but I cannot be bothered. It's supposed to be a bit of a unique title, this strategy adventure game. In the city spiraling spiraling the drain. Taking the role of gritty police chief Jack Boyd, you'll dive into a deep story of crime and intrigue. Will Jack reach his retirement with a nice stack of bills, or will he end up broken or worse? Whap. It's currently on sale, by the way. I mean, it depends where you are, but 75%. It's not bad as a discount. It's not bad. Reviews are good anyway. Um, well, in terms of the score, anyway, quantitatively, they're good reviews. But I would guess the qualitative element to the review would also correlate. What install? But I own this and I've installed it. So why is it? It should just not do anything. What is it doing? Don't understand. Yeah, so a little bit of a different title. 2017 title, published by THQ Nordic. There is a sequel that's already been released by the looks of things. So I didn't know about the sequel actually when I purchased this. So we'll see what the first one is, but it's supposed to be quite unique and different anyway. So that appeals to me. The trouble is with obscure titles is it can be quite hit and miss. You know what I mean? Whereas like if you're an Assassin's Creed fan or whatever, you've got a formula to follow. These are always a bit of a risk, but a risk worth taking, I think. Oh, temporary. There may be a service outage. There's no way service outage because
Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves. or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Mayor Rogers, sex maniac. Mark War 2 to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. And City Hall confirms rumours of Jack Boyd's resignation.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? Mayor Rogers told me that he wants a fresh face running Freeburg PD, so no, it didn't come as a surprise. Do you already know the name of your successor? No. Of course not, and I don't like the mayor, and I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he was looking forward to resigning if the mayor offered him your position. Would that change his mind? Perhaps. Sounds possible if he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? No comment. Usually I prefer to answer all your questions, but in this situation, I've got to say, no comment. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? How should I know? You'd better ask him. Thank you. Right. I wonder if those were
How's
in
the
any way
practicing, Mr.
consequential.
Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking at the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Okay, now. What kind of police chief is this? Jack Boyd on his resignation asked the mayor. People await a fresh look from the next police chief. Francis Kendrick could replace Jack Boyd.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eaten here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Would you like to receive tips about how the game works? I'm a 60-year-old police chief, a few months away from retirement. I don't need anyone. Yeah, show me what you got. Freeburg Police Department organises upcoming work assignments in shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. So this is Abrams. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are safe. Bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable the work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they could think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Let's start the day. Oh, my little confession is I'm getting quite addicted to mouth breath freshness spray. Responding to calls in the bread and butter of police work, you'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. Hit and run. Okay, so successful assignment 0, political views unknown. Book Yancey. But I'm not sure how to actually... Right, the easiest way to determine how difficult the task might be is to check how many units you are allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. Right, I don't know what SWAT means, what it stands for, but let's go. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. The mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a bum, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. Jesus. Let's get Kochi and Purdy on that. Fight. Let's get Asano on that. That during a show of Citizen Kane, a drunk man was attempting to force his way into the theatre carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theatre's security guard. There's a report coming from that hit and run. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Okay. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Well, I've got no calls coming in. We've got Asano on the case. Armed robbery? Jesus Christ. Let's get Yancey and Austin on that. So obviously we don't send SWAT out for that sort of stuff then. What's this report come in? Offender escaped, officer unharmed, civilian killed. Oh my god. It's a bit tragic, isn't it? Fight. Johnson, Jurgen and Kat's law firm, a brother and sister clashed. Let's get Price. Send out 2 cops to the law firm. There's an assault. Passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then ran away. I'm getting Kochi and let's get Asano and Purdy on that one. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they may contact you and ask you to handle the situation, deal with whatever comes up. But don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Right, armed robbery, suburb. The vehicle in question is parked right outside of the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room. Okay. Turn on the siren and then shout the house is surrounded. Knock on the door. Open up, police. Okay. Oh, I've got no calls or reports coming in. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all right. It's not what I was expecting, actually. It's all really, but like it's a police management sim. I knew it was a police management sim, but I still wasn't expecting it. Right, what's the report coming in? Oh, the offender escaped. Officers unharmed. Okay, they'll be returned to the station. Back available for work. And then this offender has escaped as well. Wait. That was the ghetto assault as well. I've got and that's the end of the day. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. Right. So we've got Stouffville, Vandal. Oh. So we must alternate shifts then, every day. One on, one off.
Used to be when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people.
Whoa.
Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Oh, why doesn't he get rid of that deputy? When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. I was up all night reading an exciting detective story called The Last Temptation of Neptune, but I didn't have time to get to the ending. I'm almost certain that the killer is Miss Clemens, but I can't rest until now. I know for sure. Until I know for sure. Can I go home and finish reading the book? No fucking way. You fucking get back to your shift. There's a new movie opening today. Can you let me off so I can go? No. In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank. If you think that no one is worthy of the honor of the honor of we of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Okay. Right. Freiburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can always select any song from your collection and play it at any time, just like in real life. Well, the life of your grandfather. Chopin. What's that? What's that? What's that? Is it all jazz? It's all jazz, isn't it? Oh, I've got a record player. It's not too loud, that. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. You have a certain number of paid openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. Okay. So I've got to go and hire a detective, have I? Want to free up a slot? Time to fire somebody. No, I don't want to fire him. If you have legal grounds for the termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned, but that could land you in additional proceedings, and your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs until they are about actually doing their jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed. But that's not really a valid option, right? Fire legally because he's too old. Okay. Let's get to high professionalism. Sasha Strong. On to shift B. Gene Tar. I don't know what my roster's like, to be fair. I've just had a coffee, but I feel really, really tired. Oh, God. Right. Shit. Let's get... Where's the new guy? Oh, let's get Birch out for that. Oh, let's get Samedy and Roy. Go and get on that. And on this one, we'll get 3 officers out on that. Give them all something to do. They're all a bit weak, really, professionalism-wise. A waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken eddy and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she's seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting in the window eating a burger. Let's get Stavalia out on that. See what it is. It might be nothing really, but Worth a check. What's this vandalism? Offender escaped. All right, come back then. Oh, I like the way Roy's professionalism hasn't shifted at all. Oh my God, he's escaped again. Another one. What's this suspicion? The waitress had mistaken the retired officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Fair enough. What's going on in this nightclub? Mr. Boyd, my bouncer's stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and I know he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching around the back. We need someone outside who can help call the guys from the punks. You want me to send a cop to do that? Bullshit work. I bet I'm going to have to, though, aren't I? Let's get Robbins on it. It's bullshit, though. But it's a bad waste of. Should get some backhander off that. Do you know what I mean? At least most of them come back to the station anyway. If Roy had been back, I'd have sent Roy on it. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena. Anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. Yeah, let's get Birch and Grant on that. Oh. Suicide threat. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline has threatened to set himself on fire unless his favourite chewing gum becomes popular again. Fuck's sake. Gun Vandal. You've got some professionalism, right? You can handle that. He's got 160 professionalism, so unlike Roy, I've got my eyes on that Roy and Birch Jr. as well. What are we on? Oh, night time now. As police arrive, a clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. Take the clown onto the ice and round up any witnesses. Carefully watch the clown from the stands. Cover up a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer. Just watch the clown. Oh, he's escaped. You dickheads. You're supposed to be watching him. What was that suicide threat? Offender escaped. How's he escaped? It was a suicide threat. Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night, I pulled in more cash than I earn in a month working at this dump. You wouldn't mind taking me on, I guess, if it wasn't. Oh my God. You fucking. Thanks for your help, Mr. Boyd. That's unbelievable. He's quit on me. He was a good cop. God damn it. Oh, listen, I've got a better. That price worries me tomorrow, but he's like real bottom of the barrel. Feminist organisation denied official registration. Okay. Enemies using feminists to destroy Freeburg.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
That's what I feel like.
The Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky. ready to fire my warning shots. In my life, even the basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene, or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of the mother, but all three of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, we sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. Come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy. And you have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Come on.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife,
Okay, no.
and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin.
Christ.
Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
Who wants to bunk off work now? Anybody? No? What have we got here? Oh, right. Everybody's rocked on up for work then. Someone attends a serious crime and flees the scene. The case goes to your detectives. Let's just get somebody on shift A before we do anything else. I need somebody with good professionalism again. What's the ghetto? They investigate the crime scene, interview witnesses, and gather whatever information seems pertinent. One of the detectives will be lead investigator on the case. You can assign additional detectives to any case who will work under the lead investigator or subordinates. The more professionalism the lead investigator, the more effective for the team. Let's get Armstrong on there. What is it? Black activist Rooney Moore was found shot outside his home. Let's get Mole on there as well. Oh, damn it. Okay. What's this? Destruction of property, parking lot. Let's get these 2 geezers on here. Oh, it's already like 11 o'clock. Fire all black cops. A racist gang has recently made some trouble in the city. They're capturing black townspeople and beating them to death. They recently sent a message to a local radio station promising to kill all the black doctors, firemen, and police. We don't need any more dead police, especially not mere months. This is horrific. You have to fire all your black employees over the next 2 days due to mounting racial tensions. There's no fucking way I'm doing that. No way. Carjacking a gas station surveillance camera recorded a car that's on the vehicle stolen list. No. Go on, let's get Vancy on that. You can always call in for support, can't he? Detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expect results. Okay. Drove by in a sedan and they shot like a machine gun. I didn't see much. Whoa. And he heard a few muffled shots. Got what he deserved. Okay. Oh. He got away. They always get away. These vandals and things. I don't know why. How? Okay, suspicious individual, Desire Park. Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, is expressed concern about suspicious man wearing bifocals, seated on a bench outside the playground. He's been watching the children. Oh, for fuck's sake! Let's get Subaki on that. Carjacking. The driver is nowhere to be seen. Wait a safe distance for the driver to appear. Search the car. Interview any potential. Just have a look in the car. I mean, don't just have a look in the car. Oh, he's caught. Officer unharmed, civilian killed. Oh my god. That's not good, is it? I'm not firing all black cops. I'm not firing all black cops because some racist gang has asked for that. There's no way. Jesus. They always escape those low-level crimes. Dragon's Lair Club. Mr. Boyd, I'm opening Freeburg's first martial arts club, and for my first exhibition, I want to hold a sparring match with one of my students takes on your toughest cop. After the fight, I'll teach your man a few tricks. The last time that happened, I'm not sending Price out for that. Let's send out Strong. The last time that happened, I lost the cop, didn't I? Oh, Vancy and Subaki have got back, but oh, what's homicide? Your detectives present frames, different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. You've got 3 new frames. Okay, let's have a look. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate fact from fiction if they know how to look at the case materials. The more professional detectives working on an investigation, the better their instincts. To get your suspects, you'll need to figure out the true sequence of events at the crime scene using the frames you think likely, sometimes with a little guesswork thrown in. If you add it all up, but the sequences fails, you're probably telling the wrong story. Okay, so what's this then? Here. All right. Always causing trouble for a long time. It used to be lots of cursing and carrying on. I don't remember the car in the neighbourhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. The police these days, they don't know nothing. Okay, so how do I put that? Kevin's throat bar. Bartender reports that couple dancers started fighting over tips and a cat fight broke out on stage. Oh. Let's get Asano and Tsubaki on that one. Fighting octopus. A bartender reported that fight has broken out between a patron and the bar's bouncer. The man, apparently drunk, had climbed onto the stage while a local singer was performing and sang a duet with her. Let's get Purdy on that. Ugh. Nailed the Jap a couple of times, but it was too fast for me and won on points. I don't really understand all the rules, so I can't keep track of the points very well, but he was all right. Even showed a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little and pulled my back. Think I can take the day off? Yeah, I think you could, to be fair. On the stage are two strippers going at it, and it's gone beyond arguing to full-on catfight. The bouncer is fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. The drunken patrons are happy watching the fight. Listen, girls, cut the crap. This is going to get serious. Shut off the music, turn up the lights. Strippers continue fighting, oblivious of the police presence. Watch strippers go at it and don't interfere. Ask the bartender for a bucket of cold water, throw it on the combatants, step onto the stage and try to separate. Get the cold water done. What? They've escaped. Sounds a bit wrong, actually, throwing a bucket of cold water at strippers, doesn't it? What's with this fight, anyway? What's Purdy done? Offender escaped, officer unharmed. God, they never catch the people, do they? Are we done? Is everybody back in this station? Just waiting for Purdy. And then we're done. I've got my new recruit as well. He's relatively experienced, in fairness. Like,
why would a man need a barn to store all the stuff you can't bring home? About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn.
sniper rifle. Oh, God. What?
I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn.
Oh, the mafia.
I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your Mafia friends about your plans.
Jack, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me, my family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the Mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
It's a difficult decision. I want to stay as a good cop, but I mean, let's help him out.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the Mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a Mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
Fine, my daughter's school. My little girl was seriously burnt. She's in intensive care. Can I go to her? Go on. Some pipes in my house busted and I need to wait around for the plumber. Can I take the day? Oh, Birch. Oh, for fuck's sake. Could have had a half a day, couldn't you? They say it's going to rain today and I have a very weak immune system. Fear I might get sick. Can I go home before it starts? No, you cannot fucking do that. Unbelievable, you bunch of tosspots. So I'm not awarding stripes to anybody today. More jazz. Oh God. No matter your personal relationship with the city's administration, your police is at their mercy. In order to maintain reasonable working conditions, you have to send appropriate requests to the mayor. Decisions from City Hall depend on whether they're satisfied with your work. You can send requests every 5 days. The officials in charge of the city may refuse outright or accept only some of your requests. Okay. Request an expansion of your staff officer roles. Request an increase in the amount of detectives on staff. Request improved equipment for SWAT. Request an increase in your weekly salary. Oh, I don't need a SWAT upgrade. I haven't really used SWAT. I'll give them 2. Maybe they'll do 1. Oh God, I am falling asleep. And that's not a reflection on the title, I don't think. I'm just extraordinarily tired for some weird reason. Phew. Okay, well, it's different. It certainly is different to the usual games I play. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I'm going to kick it, and I mean, this is going to be like part 1 of 20. It's not a quick title. It's 20 hours length, but yeah, at some point I'll come back to that. I think what I'd probably do is I have no idea where to file that though. Like under what? I mean, I think I'm going to put it under chill, but because it's amazing thing. I think it's a role-playing game as well, really. But apart from that, I can't really think. Maybe it's a bit of a sim, or like a sim or management style game. So I don't know, strategy maybe. We'll do that. I'm not going to put it under a sim. Right, I'm going to kick it for a little bit, and I'll catch you next time in a bit.